Myheroacademia chapter 417 spoilers have just been released, and all I have to say is that this is a Horikoshi masterclass. Before we get into today's video, please feel free to support this channel by clicking that subscribe button, commenting below your thoughts, and also feel free to join my community Discord down below. There you can talk to me and other community members about manga leaks, gaming, or whatever else interests you. Without further ado, let's get into what might be one of the last chapters of this amazing series. Today's leaks start back with us seeing a massive gust of wind coming out from the center of Shigaraki's finger cocoon. Alongside literal broken fingers flying through the air, shockwaves are also sent flying outwards, even sending Hatsume's robot flying off into the distance as it struggles against the pressure. The people watching this fight from around the world are then shown to be confused, as for a second, it looked as if Deku actually went inside of the finger cocoon to them. The next page then actually cuts to us indeed seeing him inside, throwing a punch which apparently is transferring all of One For All's users. Shigaraki's eyes and mouth even begin to glow with a bright light, reminding me a lot of a scene from Avatar where Aang took the Fire Lord's bending. Moving on to the next page, it seems like Nana actually was the one vestige to not be transferred, as we see her left all alone within the spirit world. As she's looking all around and shouting for the other users, Nana realizes that this is actually all due to her conflicting feelings about Shigaraki and Kotaro. Obviously, there's a lot of unsolved family trauma within her, which seems to deny her transfer into Shigaraki's body. We then see Deku just about to ring the doorbell, however just then, a dark version of himself appears to speak with him. Cloaked in shadow and having a seemingly glitchy effect, this figure asks Deku what exactly his plan is. What can he really change about this situation or Shigaraki's outcome, even if he does know the past? Deku apparently recognizes this to be Shigaraki speaking directly to him, just taking on a different form to likely intimidate Deku. Midoriya straight up tells him here that he doesn't know if anything will change, however he has to try, and while Shigaraki just tells him to die, Midoriya still just replies by saying he's coming in. Shiggy wasn't joking though about wanting him dead, because out of nowhere, Truck-kun appears and tries to isekai Midoriya into another universe. Just barely making it out of the way, he then hears Nana explain that his physical form he's taking is due to him being a One For All user. Apparently he can now interact and move freely within Shigaraki's inner world, which possibly means that he can die along with Shigaraki. Nana then apologizes to Deku for not being transferred along with the others, however he just smiles at her while saying that he's glad to have someone with him. Obviously this is all traumatic and way too much for a teenager, so at least he has a trusted adult there to be alongside him. She then goes on to describe this place to be Shigaraki's core and origin itself. Apparently they can and should indeed defeat him within this world, because they can actually hit him here. This kinda reminds me of Jujutsu Kaisen and the whole concept of attacking the soul in places between, but it's still unique because we've been building on this idea of vestiges in the inner world all series long. Deku then breaks out and begins to dash towards the doorbell. However, Hero Killer Stain then appears out of thin air, landing on top of Deku and pinning him down with 2 knives to his neck. The chapter then gets a little trippy here, as Stain actually morphs into Destro while asking Deku what he stands for and what he wants to build. His nose, yes you heard me right, his nose literally then morphs into Overhaul, who asks if Deku even has a plan. Now let me know what you guys think in the comments, because this could either be Shigaraki using these memories to communicate with Deku in a twisted, alternate way, or it could just really be everything blending together within this realm. Deku then shouts at this figure while sprinting away, actually managing to make it to the door and even open it. Once it swings open however, the inside morphs into a picture of Nana and a baby Kotaro, as he can hear Hana and Tenku talking in the background. Of course this immediately makes Nana begin to cry, as this overwhelming surge of emotions and memories is hitting her all at once. Anyways, as the two finally pass through the door, all Nana and Deku immediately see is Kotaro beating the shit out of a young Shigaraki. Nana begins to cry while watching this, and although Deku does try to intervene, he's literally prevented and pushed away by Shigaraki's own rejection inside of this world. While still beating the child, Kotaro begins to blame Nana for everything, calling her a demonic woman who abandoned her own son. She herself then begins to break down into tears, as she knows this not to be the full truth. She didn't want to abandon her family, but was forced to in order to keep them and the world safe. Nana blames herself for not beating All For One and going back to her son, while realizing all the pain she called Kotaro ended up causing generational trauma. Her son just ended up passing down his anger and problems to her grandson, which corrupted him and possibly caused the path he's on. With Deku still pushing against Shiggy's rejection, Nana literally falls down to the ground while shouting that it's all her fault. She knows her assistance is required though, so while wiping away her tears, she begins to transfer herself into Shigaraki by leaping and hugging her son. Her final words here, and possibly in the entire series, are very emotional, apologizing to her son for being too weak to come back to him. It even shows us her last thoughts, which is her placing the blame all on herself. It's all Grandma's fault. I need somebody to pass me the Kleenex here or something because it seems to be raining inside today. With that, the scene then changes over to Tenku, who is crying in the backyard and no longer a silhouette now, while hugging his dog in an all too familiar scene. Shigaraki begins to disintegrate Mon, while Deku just watches in terror. Today's leaks actually end here with a pretty tragic twist, as we're now seeing the memory where Shiggy truly became evil and disintegrated his own dog and entire family. Will Deku end up fixing things somehow in the way he wants, or will killing the villain once again be the only option? If you guys have any thoughts or theories regarding today's chapter, make sure to share them with me down below, as I've really been getting into this series. I personally really love the final fight shifting over into the spirit realm and people's inner consciousness, because it ties the series together by tying in old and new memories for these heart-wrenching chapters. Anyways, if you all enjoyed the video and would like to support me, feel free to subscribe to the channel, comment below your thoughts, and make sure to join my community Discord down below if that interests you. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.